What up?
Yeah.
Is Jay, the third host, as they say. I'm just here to talk shit.
The third of the three amigos. And we have the lovely Miss Kim here.
Hi,
our
everybody.
newest addition.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm just here for the grins and giggles.
Oh, you're here for more than that today. Because we're going to interview you and just fly by the seat of the pants like we always do.
This is going to be fun.
Absolutely.
So,
And once again, real quick, I'm Chance Hancock. I just want to throw in real quick, you can make sure you check out our show. It's going to be on Amazon Prime and YouTube and all that good stuff. So I just want to jump in and intervene
thanks for
with
keeping
this.
it professional, my man.
I got to throw it in there once in a while. I got to throw in
Look
the
at that.
professionalism.
And if you're
once in a
watching
blue
this on
moon.
YouTube, like, subscribe, do all the things. Check us out later on.
Yep.
Watch us over and over again so we make money. 'Cause
Exactly.
We broke, dog.
We broke big time.
Broke.
We're broke, kids.
We are broke. That's not
And
funny.
with the show, we talk about everything paranormal. I'm going to really shorten this really quick. We used to have a radio show that talked everything paranormal that was comedic, very funny. We're known in a lot of different locations. iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, yada, yada, yada. We decided to turn this into a television talk show because, simple fact, we have a lot of celebrities that come down here to Florida all the time, and we want to bring them in studio with us as well to do our show.
We've
Plus, we're
kind
going
of gotten drunk with a few.
Exactly. Hung out with quite a few and got a little crazy. But we never filmed those things. Now we're probably going to start filming them. We're also going to be bringing in, different celebrities of all genres of paranormal and everything else. And sometimes, let's be real, let's be fair, not so much paranormal either. They'll be all over the street. Like, I'm not going to turn down an interview with, frickin' Tim McGraw if he wanted to come on the show because I would be like, hey, Tim, do you believe in aliens? Great. Paranormal. All right. So, anyways, Tim, do you know what I mean? We can always introduce paranormal somehow.
Have
We'll
you
get him
ever
on
seen
here.
a spirit?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Let's roll on.
You have it? Cool. Great. Move on. Oh, you're an atheist. Even better. Now we don't even talk about ghosts. All right. So we're going to cut over here to Jesse now. And Jesse, you got some things to say, don't you?
Jesse always has something to say.
Well, this show is like the third take, and we're gonna just. Are you broken? Okay, whatever. I want to see what Jay, because Jay, you haven't met Kim really that often. You did an investigation with her,
Right.
so you know her a little bit better than a lot of people because we don't.
I'm usually in the background.
Yeah, you're always in the background.
Yeah.
I'm at the office. I'm at the desk.
Yeah.
Talking to people. Putting
trying to
their
set
probe
stuff
out
up.
there.
Yep.
But now I get to have fun.
So, Kim, we're going to go ahead and talk about this right now. You are, for lack of a better term, you're a drunken toddler wrangler because you got to keep up with the three of us keeping us out of trouble all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So, listen, for our audience out there who's not familiar, Kim Rutherford is the manager of all of us here on Paraprobe. She's the one who does all of our bookings and stuff, like Jesse was saying a minute ago. Everything that we do, Kim is the one who goes, hey, guys, I got this place for you to go. It's like, oh, gee, yay. Because we get kind of burned out, but Kim doesn't care.
But once in a while, they'll say, hey, Kim, do you think you can get us in here? And it works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because she knows how to talk to people. We don't.
Yeah. We definitely
Flies
don't.
with honey.
Yeah.
I hook them and Chance books them. So that's how we work it.
Yeah, because, we'll be real here. All right.
I just got a visual of her like with a giant hook, like stabbing people.
Kim
Sometimes I have to.
Kim is great for getting us these different locations to go do our investigations because we also have another TV show we're working on, but that'll come at a later date. That'll be on Amazon Prime as well. But anyways, Kim, she's always hooking us up with different locations, go and do our shows from and meet people, meet and greets, setting up paranormal events, the whole 9 yards. The reason why Kim does this is a combination of a couple of things because I want to give credit where credit is due. Kim does a phenomenal job of just talking. All right.
I do have the gift of gab.
Big time.
You did have the
Even deaf people are like, please shut up. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Kim actually is just, she's, very well versed in the paranormal and knowing a lot of hotspot locations and knows these places to contact, to try to get us in. But it's also because the reality is that the three guys here on the show, we just don't like people. So it's hard for us to corner each other. We are for guys who are in the media and do what we do, we are very antisocial when we're off camera.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't like them. It goes both ways.
Oh, that is so
That's
not
very
true.
true.
That's
Me
not
especially.
That is not true. I am adored by millions. That is, that's
That's
bullshit.
not true.
What? Nobody ever believes me. Jesse's like, I don't even like you, motherfucker. But yeah, so out of our group here, we do give thanks to Kim. She keeps
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah, she definitely keeps us out of trouble. Well, I would say most of the time. Can't say all the time, but
I
most of
will
the time.
not take, but maybe 60% of the time, because y'all are a lot.
Yeah.
Y'all are a bit much.
We're definitely a handful.
She tries to keep us on our toes, but it is what it is.
And sometimes I'm a really great bloodhound. Chance has described me as his bloodhound more than once, so it works out well.
It's true.
I just
Like, does he put a leash on you or what? Like, what's going on?
Like-
What are you doing
Sit,
behind the
He'll
scenes
say,
here?
"Give
Like,
Making money on
me
OnlyFans,
some
motherfucker."
offbeat-
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
He'll give me
Everybody has a
something-
fetish. Bark, bark, bitch.
That's it. I mean,
Holy
sometimes
shit.
I'll say, "Hey, David, what about this?" And I'll run with it. And then sometimes I'll say, "Hey, Chance, I'll have this." They'll say, "Whoa, there."
Yeah, there are times that you just keep
You gotta use
going.
your safe
It's
word.
like the Energizer Bunny,
Safe
just
word.
going and going and going and going. It's like, Kim, we can't. No, just
We
cannot
just
do
can't do
anymore.
that.
Yeah.
Kim. Come on, get real.
It's like, look, in some countries that's illegal.
I tried to get
so.
him to jump out of a plane and do a paranormal investigation.
Absolutely
on the way
not.
down
I would have
and-
jumped out of a plane.
No.
I would do
See,
it.
no.
there's
Jesse
al-
won't.
There's
Jesse doesn't like
always
heights.
one that doesn't want to do what they're told.
Absolutely
Who
not.
the fuck would want to jump out of a perfectly good plane?
Not
I
me.
would.
Don't look at me. I was going to stay in the plane and just watch.
Hey,
No,
I
it's your
was the
idea. You
guy.
got to do it.
Not for nothing. Not for nothing.
I set it up. Y'all do it.
Not for nothing. But that's white people shit.
That's white
You
people
guys be
shit.
doing some crazy shit.
Hey,
You know
hold
what I
on
mean?
here. Hold on here.
Like-
That's a little
I'll-
stereotypical.
He represents that remark.
And
I resent
absolutely
that
fucking.
remark.
Wait. That is borderline like a little racy
It
there
could
and
be,
stereotypical,
but I'll
You
tell you
can't
what.
be racist.
but
towards white
absolutely
people. What are
fucking
you talking-
correct.
Thank
That
you.
is definitely
Thank
white
you.
people shit.
You ain't got your
definitely
Puerto
white
Rican jumping out of a freaking plane.
No.
Sorry.
Actually,
Careful.
hide the knives. Hide the knives.
I don't know. That stereotype is very true because I'm married to a Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
See,
it's
this-
awesome. It spices things up.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I mean,
My wife is very good looking. The thing is my wife also, there's a problem with this situation. Like, I know a lot of guys out there who run around other women left and right, got side chicks left and right, everything else. I don't mess around with my girl. And it's not because, like, I think I'm this, great guy and, don't believe in cheating and, monogamy or
No, he believes in all
mahogany,
that.
whatever. It's because she's got the spare key to the gun safe. I taught her how to shoot, and it's just in my best interest. I like breathing. It's something that works well for me. I like being able to breathe.
Yeah, we don't want to have to go and investigate your house because you
No.
got shot for some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, dude, she will unload and then reload. Yeah. So.
and he's in the family too, so he'll just be like, "I didn't see anything."
I probably had to hide that shit. I
Oh,
was,
absolutely.
Yeah, don't even put
'cause
me in that
he's
shit,
gonna
man.
back his sister. He's gonna
Fuck.
be like, he
Yeah.
fucking fell down the stairs and landed on his gun 19 times. So, yeah, I mean that's just the way it goes. And Jesse, trust me, his wife, Becky, very sweet woman, very very funny. Your wife is hilarious, dude. By the way, very good looking too. Don't swing at me. She is very good looking. But same thing. I know that if you ever did something stupid, she will stab your ass. She won't even just stab you. She'll fucking prison yard shank you. That's what your wife would do.
She would sharpen a toothbrush.
She would
Oh,
turn-
absolutely.
She would turn you into a eunuch
Oh yeah, big time.
real quick.
The shiv.
Now, Jason's wife, little fell,
Yeah.
little flea.
Ankle biter.
Yeah.
She looks like she'll hurt somebody.
Oh, she will.
She's got, she's got a little temper.
She got
on her.
guns, dude. She's kind of boss.
She's fire.
Yeah, no.
She is
She
definitely
got,
fire.
and she also has access to the safe, so
Yeah, exactly.
careful. Tread lightly.
I'm the only one that keeps all my weapons to myself.
Fair.
I
I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna have to make a story up how
For
I fell on
once,
my
I
gun
don't actually have a
19
fucking comeback.
No,
I have nothing to go
I
against
get
that
to
with.
keep all of it to myself,
There you go.
and I like
She,
it.
and this is why she's the manager of the group. She's the smart one, the one that wrangles us, because she has the brains.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: I know all your wives, and so if things get too crazy, I just
Yeah,
call
but
a
see,
wife.
but hold on. Being
Do I gotta make a phone call?
now, hold on.
your
Now, in all fairness, though, Kim,
Yeah.
saying how intelligent you are and that you can lead us and all that, it's not really saying a whole lot when you're dealing with a bunch of guys who could sit at the same table with a bunch of people with disabilities and fit fucking right in. Okay.
Or geniuses,
true.
for that matter, because we've done it.
And we've done it either way. Yeah. But so it's not hard to lead us. I mean, it's like, guys, hold hands. We're going outside, walking in a single file line. That's all you got to do with us. It's pretty basic.
Yeah, kinda,
Yeah.
sorta.
Kind of like run.
No, I take it back. No,
So tell us about some of your adventures.
my adventures.
That we don't know about. Something that is
I
completely
was- okay,
obscure.
I'll give you a quick rundown. I was born on my sister's
What?
death date, and I saw my first apparition when I was 8 years old.
What was it?
A man that I'm later in years, as I got older and studied the paranormal, I put some history to the home. He was the original home builder, and there was actually 2 graves in our backyard, and it was his wife and his son.
Question.
Yeah.
Were they known graves only by you guys, or like was it a town thing, or?
No, they were not known, even though the headstones were there, because in that town, you did not have to document the dead until 1910. This house was built in 1901, and those bodies have been there since 1904.
Oh, okay. So you had nothing to do with it being planted there.
No,
Okay,
that was
gotcha.
back when you just.
That's the
if
point that I was
Grandpa
going with.
died,
Jesse knew where I was going.
That was at
Yeah.
a point in time where if Grandpa died, you could bury him in the back property because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
your property, and you didn't have to,
Answer to anybody?
you didn't answer to anybody.
that
It's
freedom.
an unincorporated area.
No shit, right?
Which,
You know-
people still do today, but.
You know why they changed those laws? And the reason for being is because people getting away with murder
Yeah,
left and right.
people
They were
literally.
like, oh, they died of consumption,
Dysentery.
and- yeah, dysentery, and we buried them in the backyard and everything.
Yeah, no,
it's
I-
like that's funny. I heard like 3 gunshots from your house last night. Oh, I was scared.
I don't
off
even
a
own a
wolf.
gun. I have a bow and arrow.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
attacked by Indians right there in the front yard.
So, what all do you know of this particular apparition, aside from that he's some no-name guy that built the house?
Well,
And
as I studied the house, I found out that every matriarch, which there's 5, including my mother, all went crazy, committed suicide. The whole family became dysfunctional. My mother, through the tragedy of my sister's death, she was already a little soft. But my mother got dementia, she turned into an alcoholic, lost control of her life,
I'm a little scared.
and my whole family dispersed out of that house. We didn't leave that house together. Everybody went their separate way.
Okay, so you don't live there anymore?
No. I would
So,
never live
is
there.
there any evidence that somebody has been affected that hasn't been living there? That lived there at one point, but it no longer
Now,
lives
I will
there.
tell you, I have a niece that where this house sits is very near a major highway.
Okay.
It's maybe an acre away. And
So, has she gone crazy or not?
the current resident, yes. She sits in the upstairs.
Is it related to the house that did they live at the house that all the matriarchs went crazy at?
The current person, yes, she lives in the house now. And we would never use the upstairs. It needed to be rebuilt when we had it because of its age, the house. And so we kind of closed off the upstairs. She didn't believe anything I ever told her about it because she was a family friend, and she remodeled the upstairs. And from what I'm told, she sits up there and talks to him now. She's in her 80s, and she sits up there. And
Okay.
How?
It-
I'm sorry. How old were you? Did you say?
I was
when you-
8 when I first saw the apparition.
So you were 8 years old when you first started
Yeah.
seeing dead people.
Yep. So
I
for
see dead
50
people.
years, I don't shriek at being old. I'm almost 60.
Okay. I
So-
mean, so yeah, you consider yourself, you're obviously a medium, so you could see
Yes.
and sense dead people, right?
I see them. I sense them sometimes. I can literally see past life. I can hear them. I can tell if they're male or female, if they're good or bad, if they have hostile intent.
Here's a good question: Have you
How do
you
you
ever
wait,
physically?
wait? How do you know if it's a male or female ghost? Look for the orbs.
Shut up.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
Have you ever physically been affected by one of these spirits
Yes.
or ghosts?
During my FGT days,
What's FGT?
Florida Ghost Team.
There you go.
I was on there with Sean Jones, the director. Very huge crew, very big team. We had divisions because we covered the whole state. There was a playhouse we were in back in 2009 where Sean and I both got pushed into a wall trying to hastily exit because she told me my head was changing shape. I said, tell me that shit after I'm out of the building. You know, we were
Mine does too
investigating
when I
a
walk out
green
in cold
room
water.
in the basin of a
Cold rain.
playhouse,
You're
and
an idiot.
there was a lot of shadows. And they couldn't see me, and I don't know why. I was no further from them than I am you guys. But she said, stand up and come over here. And this girl, Tina, hits her flashlight. It comes on, and they all sucked the air out of the room. All three of them went, and she said, did you see that? And Tina said, yeah. And Sean goes, get Kim out of here. Get Kim out of here now.
They
And I
can
said,
suck the air out of the room.
I do feel, no, they were like, like
She did
literally.
it OnlyFans.
And I'm not going to say I was possessed. I was not possessed. I never felt threatened. I think it just followed me into my space, and she saw both of us because I never felt like anything was attacking.
So it was a ghost overlay.
Yeah. And they all made this little gasp. She said, get her out of here. Get her out of here now. And she literally told everybody to exit the playhouse. And there was like 30 people upstairs.
So as somebody very experienced, and this just popped in my head, I have a really weird question.
What's that?
Does salt actually work?
Yes. Not always, but yes.
When wouldn't it work? Or when have you experienced that it wouldn't work?
I've only poured salt twice. And that was both times because it was feeling really bad up in there. We were getting a lot of hostile intent.
And how did you execute that? Did you like steal
Well,
off a room with it or what?
We were in a plantation house, and we were in a room full of mannequins of all things. And there was 2 other people with me, and I went to put my hand. There was no faces on these. Okay, I went to put my hand on it, and it grew a face. But not only did it grow a face, it grew an elongated skull and a huge set of teeth. And I jerked my hand back, and the other 2 people saw it too. So as we went out in the hallway, we poured a salt line at the door to keep it in there. Because everything else was shut.
And it worked that night.
It worked that night because it did not
I
mess
know
with
a
us.
lot of investigators, and I have actually done it myself. Use salt after like saging a house, right?
Yes.
Right.
Saging a house and then using salt around the windows, doors, and all that to keep whatever you pushed out from coming back in.
Yes.
But here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's not just regular salt. You have to use like more sea salt, something
Like
that
a
has
kosher
less
salt.
something that has not a whole lot of like
More
chemicals
natural
mixed
base.
in.
Yeah.
And you also too have to have a very strong, firm belief in what you're doing that it will work in order to push it. You get somebody who's not so solid on the faith in attempting it, sometimes it doesn't happen. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. I've known a lot of investigators who have done this before that attempted to try it just for shits and grins and realized that they really weren't kind of believing in what they were doing. They, it's like, I got to try it anyway, see if this will work. At this house, it had some issues going on. Didn't change, affect anything, nothing at all. So I think a lot of it has to do also with your belief system.
I'm pretty sure you were in the building that night.
Yeah.
You were in the building that night.
Yep.
Because that was during that was when the other paranormal investigators didn't want us there, so they booby-trapped the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid.
That was a whole separate issue. But yeah, I mean, I've only done it twice. I have no fear. I'm the girl that will crawl in the little tiny hole over there in the wall for 40 yards and sit in there and have an EVP session for a while.
See, that is the difference between you and us, Kim. You have no fear because you are so staunch about what you believe and perceive in the paranormal and what you can do, your own, your
own
own
mindset.
level of,
Yeah.
of skill set and all that. Where like Jesse, myself, and I'm sure even Jay, where it's not about we're not afraid, we're just stupid. We don't care. And this is the honest thing. Yes, we're all kidding aside, actually very smart guys, all 3 of us. But at the same time, we're the guy. If you say don't push the button, we got to push the button. You know what I'm saying? To see
Yeah.
what it
To
does.
see what happens.
Yeah, and that is definitely the 3 of us.
It
big time.
literally burns
That's
us.
what
and
turns you
we
on to
don't.
a horror movie
Yeah,
instead of it.
exactly. It will drive us crazy if we don't push
But
the
it's-
button. We
it's-
got to know.
It's right there. Let me push it. I want to push it.
So you have no fear. Was there ever an experience that you had that made you feel fearful or unsafe?
One time,
Hey,
I
we
was asked
needed-
to do a help call, and it was bad. It was really bad. I never seen anybody's face contorted like that. They literally thought she was possessed, and I was honestly, I was only in the house for 20 minutes. I left. It was above my pay grade at that point. I was
They
only
needed a priest at that
I hadn't
point.
been doing it long enough. There was a demonologist present,
Yeah.
and we let him take over the show
I mean,
because I wasn't really knowing what to do. I wasn't scared. I was just like, what's got this
Nope.
girl? Because I've never seen what I can't even describe it.
like Exorcist, that shit. Like,
Well, it wasn't so much that her face turned evil. It
so her
was
head didn't spin.
her mannerisms.
When she
Her
says
s-
contort, she means more like not looking like her
Right, right,
normal.
right.
She wasn't even looking human for
Mannerisms
about
and
10
stuff,
minutes.
yeah.
She really almost looked like she was turning animalistic for about 10 minutes.
Right.
Was there
And-
like bone structure shifting?
It seemed like some. Yeah. I asked at one point, did she just go like caveman on us? Because what's up with the brow ridge? And somebody said, oh, I didn't really notice that till now. Yeah, and it was just really freaky for me. I was a young investigator. I hadn't been investigating that long. I'd studied it, but I hadn't done it. And to walk into something like that was just, I openly admitted this is above my pay ratio. You know, I don't know enough about this.
You ever had something follow you home?
Yes. I'll tell you what.
I don't mean guys from the bar cam. We're talking about ghost stuff.
I don't. We won't talk about that. Yeah, I have had things follow me home. I'll tell you the freakiest thing is when I not talk about my childhood home, but when I start telling instances of things happening there, it makes other things happen.
This is very true. I can actually say that this is true. All right. And I'm not saying anything Kim's been saying before was a lie. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying that
Everything was
but,
bullshit.
But what I'm saying is, with you two guys, y'all haven't been around Kim long enough to know that the stuff she's telling you has happened or not, right? So for me, there are circumstances where Kim has talked about paranormal events that have happened, like, you know, inside this house when she was growing up, that almost like a repeat of the shit happens in the area we're in.
I hate to use movies as metaphors, but I use Poltergeist as a metaphor where this is concerned because while Poltergeist 3 wasn't all that great,
Damn.
the pretense was
Hot
that
take.
the pretense was that the psychiatrist kept making Carol Ann talk about it, and that's what brought him back to her. He found her that way. I'm kind of like the same way. Let's see, my childhood home was 75 to 80, 81, 82. So when I'm now in 2003 and I'm in a completely different city, in a completely different home, telling somebody something that happened and my house turns into turmoil, we got a problem. So I was explaining this story to two young ladies at my house one night. Right when I get to this one part that was pretty intense, the door to our room slams. I get up to go out. All the lights go out. I get up to go out the door hits me, flies open, hits me. Everybody starts screaming, and I hear my mother screaming. She's now, not only can I not get through her bedroom door, I can't get into her bathroom door, and she's in the shower. There's no lights anywhere. I can't find her. She usually kept her cigarettes and her lighter right on the end of the kitchen counter. Couldn't find it. I found her cigarettes, no lighter. I went into my dining room because I knew there was a little jar of them, and something shoved me into the dining room table. I literally went over a chair. The girls are still screaming. My mother's still stuck in the shower. I finally get a flashlight that I remembered. I go in there. I pretty much almost had to take the door down to get in my mom's room. I told the girl, stop screaming. You're freaking me out. You're freaking me out. It's not freaking me out. Get outside. Go outside. So I get my mom, I get into the bathroom part. I get my mom out of the shower. I get her in a robe, and I sit her outside on the porch. And as I go out the door, my mom goes out the door closes on us. And I'm thinking, I hope it's not locked because we ain't getting back in, you know. But at that point, nobody wanted to go back in the house.
Absolutely not.
They heard me and saw me go over the chair.
Is that something that's common with paranormal, like with?
I'm a big sage person.
Would it be possible for that, or is it possible that that particular spirit follows you,
Yes.
is attached to you?
Yes.
As to the house or
Yeah.
an object or something.
Well, the thing was, we all went outside. And it was really weird because I lived at the back door of a church, a really big church. And the church was all lit up, but nothing else on the block was lit. So I said to my friends, let's just walk over there into the light for a minute. One steps on the ground, the next one steps on the church ground. I step on the church ground and my whole house lights back up. It's like we went to church and it all cleaned it out. It was really weird. In all, it was about a 40-minute experience. If she was here, I still know one of the girls. She would tell you that story needs to be told. That was fucked up, Kim. I don't ever tell me no more stories again. That was terrible. And the next day, I had like a bruise on my face right here where the door got me. It was really bad. I mean, I had a whelp, and my mother's like, "Don't tell stories no more. Don't tell stories. Just don't."
All
do
right.
it.
Well, would you like to tell some
No,
stories?
I don't want to tell stories. I'll tell you other stories, but not that house.
What would you suggest to do if, like, let's say, for instance, you go do an investigation, right? And obviously, no one wants to bring no shit home. To try to, because I don't know, there's been, speculation of people praying or doing something.
I'm big on
I just don't want to bring no shit home.
Jason's been very worried about this.
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time
I'm
we've
big
gone out
on
to do
saging
investigations.
people after each investigation,
Right.
especially if it gets a little intense,
Okay.
because you don't want to take that home with you.
Yeah, I definitely don't. Among
Also,
other things, I
I'm
definitely don't want to bring that
God-fearing.
home.
A lot of times when I've done lectures, people will ask me, "How can you believe in God and do what you do?" I said, "Honey, if I didn't believe in God, I wouldn't be doing it, because I couldn't do it that way. I just couldn't, because God is my talisman.
So sage, prayers.
Sage and prayer.
Jesus
after
is your
every
co-driver.
event. After every event,
All right.
every
And
time.
apparently salt your front door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
gotta
always
switch out
salt,
my
like
salt,
I said,
dude.
I've only salted twice. Yeah, I've not felt the need. I mean, in the back of my ghost kit, there's holy water. I've never once had to open it. But people, this is the thing. Like, people watch TV
What's
shows.
holy water taste like?
Holy.
I would say, in my honest opinion,
You notice how I looked at Chance because he would be the one.
it would taste very, very like
Water.
I mean, imagine taking like Dasani, right? Or and say Evian, Zephyr Hills, Spring Mill water. They all taste the fucking same. It's not gonna taste any different.
It's not going to taste any different.
Yeah, the only way I can see it maybe tasting different, would it's like maybe if you were possessed or something, had some evil attached to you, and then you drink
Burn the shit out of your
holy
I've
water,
been in
maybe it would be really hot to you.
places-
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been in places that I will say were hostile, that had intent, but I never felt the need to break out the salt, the sage, the holy water. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't sage on the way out, but no, that's the point of being there, is to investigate it, not to flee from it, not to try to put something down to keep it contained.
Yeah.
No, that's about the time you want to start trying to communicate.
And see, and here's the deal with that too.
There's a difference between
When people go out to do investigations at all these locations, we actually had talked about this a couple weeks ago, but this is one of the shows that's not being, aired on Amazon Prime. So I'm just going to talk about this for a second. We were talking about how like a lot of paranormal groups go out there and they just sometimes do some, lack of a better term, stupid shit
yes,
out there on
there's a lot of
investigations.
stupid shit out there.
They'll wind up like there's been people that's been trespassed off of these properties stuff because they never asked permission to be there to begin with. You have people that'll show up and everything's a goddamn demon and going crazy on these investigations, running like a bunch of children playing tag, screaming through the house and everything. Here's the deal. When you are at that location doing the investigation, you're the guest. You need to maintain yourself at all times as you are the guest. You don't own the place. Don't get crazy. Don't act stupid. It's like we've already had, Kim and I was having this issue here recently where we had multiple locations that we wanted to get into to investigate for our new TV show that we're filming. And they are taking zero paranormal people. They don't care if you're with a TV show, network, or anything else. They don't give a shit. They've had too many teams who have came in there and done some really stupid stuff. And I ain't talking about like, let's be fair. There's paranormal drama across the board, and everybody, my team does it better. My team does it better. My team does it better. We don't do this with my team. Oh, we do this with my team. Oh, we like Ouija boards. We don't like Ouija boards. So on and so forth. But anyways, long story short is because because of all that bull crap, it's been screwing stuff up. So like Kim, when Kim goes to do an investigation or we go do an investigation, we like to kind of like when we go camping, leave everything as you found it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
there.
And if a venue requests for you to keep the Ouija boards out, then keep the Ouija boards out. It's the venue's request.
Yeah.
Your opinion matters not to them. They asked you not to do it.
Yeah.
And stop
So
stealing
don't.
shit.
And stop saying shit.
Hey!
Yeah, I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
a big one. That is a
Like
big one.
there was a venue. There's a venue that I wanted to get into really bad. And I worked with these people for 4 months to finally get Paranormal Courtesy to get in there. And he said, okay, we'll start letting people in. Well, I hadn't booked us in there until November. 2 teams went ahead of us. The first team screwed it up for everybody.
Yeah.
They left their garbage. They were asked to clean up and take all their garbage out. They left food everywhere, cans. They were asked not to smoke on the property.
So
There were
you're a
cigarette butts up
big
there.
advocate of respecting the grounds.
Respect the grounds. I
There we
mean,
go.
seriously. If they ask you not to do something or to do something, just do it. I mean, they're being courteous to let you in there.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
we got enough ignorant out there. We don't need more of it in the paranormal.
Yeah.
I mean-
because unfortunately, these stupid things keep on going. Because, like I said, this isn't a one-off. This is turning into a trend now because there's multiple locations that people used to be able to get into to investigate that you can no longer get into now because of people doing stupid
Yes,
stuff.
and like, I'm not going to pick any particular TV show at random here. I'm just going to say a TV show. If you're going to scream and yell and cuss and provoke, they're probably not going to let anybody back in. If you start getting
Because
loud,
it's going to be angry.
yeah, I mean, they're not. If they say, yeah, let's not provoke, invoke, blah blah blah, and you're in there cussing at something and saying, "Come on, get me, motherfucker!" No.
Yeah,
You know
piss
what?
it off.
Now, if something
wait,
slams you
but-
down the stairs and you get mad and you have that,
But see, here's the funny thing
Cuss
about
reaction.
that we just talked about towards the beginning of this show that actually makes this actually funny.
what's that?
For half a second, let's reach down and the bottom of our cockles. Okay, wait, that's a little too far. Bottom of our hearts, okay? At the end of the day, like we've discussed before, we don't know if this stuff's real or not. It could be just weird scientific anomalies that we come across every so often when we're doing these investigations. It may not be anything what you would term as a ghost. So that means there's grown-ass men standing in a room going, "Come at me, bro," to nothing. You know what I'm
nothing,
saying?
yeah.
They're doing it to their imaginations.
And the other thing is, don't deem everything as violent or hostile. You spend 30 minutes on a EVP
Now let's talk
session
about Jesse.
saying, can you make something move? And then suddenly the pot on the stove goes flying out in front of you. Did you see that? This son of a bitch tried to hit me. No, you asked it to move something.
Yeah.
And it did. It just happened to throw it your direction.
It's not hostile. It did what you asked. It's trying to communicate. Why are you going to start
See,
insulting
I've
it?
never got that either. People on an investigation are like, "Okay, if you're here with us, we want you to make a noise over here. We want you to knock on that wall. Let's know you're here." They do it, and then they fucking scream and run. It's
Yeah,
like
I never understood the scream and run policy
never got that
a lot
either.
of TV shows have.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I know
They
as
always tend to wanna
television, you
break
got to
down or
sometimes
call it
make
at
things.
night when it starts getting good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna stay for the good stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
don't get me wrong. I understand that with like anything, you got to make it a little dramatic. Got to make it stand out a little bit. You know what I mean? But when it comes to a point that like you ask it to make a noise, and it's not like it did anything bad. Like let's say like a giant slam, something that startled you and made you run. We're talking like a simple little, and that's it. And dude, they scream
yeah.
and run, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, cabinet doors and regular
It's like a girl from
doors,
Connecticut
if
losing
a
her credit
door
card.
opens
They
or
scream like that and run.
closes,
Yeah.
people freak.
Do it?
Doors.
Oh yeah.
If
They
a
work.
door opens and closes,
Yeah.
a cabinet door opens and closes.
It's
they're-
working properly.
That's what you're there for, though. I mean, like you said.
What?
you
It
know?
sleeps in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Maybe it wanted to come out and say hi. It shut the door behind it. Why are you running?
Could be Tinkerbell. You never know. I mean,
Yeah.
If you're
Could be
there,
jingling.
if you're there, I want you to move this box on the table. Shh, motherfucker! Go run
Yeah, I
and
always-
scream it. And dude, I tell you right now, Jesse can attest to this. Jay can attest to this. Kim can attest to this. The normal will hurt you a lot faster than paranormal.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go running in the dark,
Yeah.
you're gonna get hurt sooner or
When
later.
I used to
It's not
tell
an
my
if, it's a when.
parents that there were ghosts in our house, my mother would always say, "Don't worry, ghosts can't hurt you. They'll just make you hurt yourself if you act
Yeah.
stupid."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, but he's not in your closet, Mom. You know, what do you do?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm,
I feel sorry for kids.
Me and Jesse
And
actually
dogs, animals.
talked about
Yes.
this on a show a long time ago. Jesse, I'm gonna refresh your memory here. The woman who was having sex with a ghost.
Oh yeah, ghost sex.
Yep,
What?
ghost sex.
What?
So if ghosts can't hurt
What?
you,
Yep.
if ghosts can't hurt you, but could give you an orgasm, how the fuck does that work out?
what?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we have
so-
to.
Let's go with this
lady
conversation
Okay,
for a
had a
wait a
second.
minute.
full-on relationship
see the
with the
movie
ghost.
that
So
was
hold
based-
on 1 second. One at a time.
She had a full-on relationship with the ghost. Everything. It was in media. It was in newspapers,
Yep.
magazines, on TV.
I want to say
Is
she
that the
was
one that married him?
Ireland, I believe, where she came from.
something like that.
Yeah.
But not only did she was she having sex with this ghost,
Right.
she got married to the ghost, divorced the ghost, left the ghost for another ghost.
Did they get married on the boat?
I don't recall.
Because I did see some shit about
I don't
women
remember
marrying
them
a
getting married
ghost
on a boat.
because you can't physically or legally marry something that's
Oh,
a spirit.
apparently
Bro.
she did.
Here, but you have to go like in the ocean somewhere, like it's outside
Yeah,
of.
bro, she
International
was-
waters.
Yeah,
she
that's
was
national
bitching
waters.
because remember this one where she would come home and all of his ghost friends would be hanging out. You know.
What the
Does-
fuck?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dead serious, bro.
Dead serious.
Dead serious.
No,
And
then
she
that's
was
definitely
too.
not the one I saw.
But I have questions. And
I've
now
got
I
a
can,
lot.
and now I
Yeah.
can ask this. So is it penetrative sex? Is that what's happening
Okay,
with the
see,
ghost?
I legitimately
And
don't know.
does that count as possession?
No,
She's-
that's
he's
not.
inside
Fucking
you.
question.
Not in
mean,
your
shit.
mind.
That's some solid fucking. That's some damn. That was
Okay.
like detective work right there coming at that one.
Again,
figuring
I'm
that
a
one
little
out.
older
That's a
than
damn
you
good question.
guys.
What?
But there was a case study. The movie was based on a true story.
Okay.
Even part of the story was documented by UCLA. The movie with Barbara Hershey, The Entity.
Oh yeah, The Entity. I forgot about that movie.
Yes, and
Yeah.
UCLA actually has documentation. Texas woman suddenly starts getting raped by a spirit.
Yep.
Happens in front of her children. Happens in
Documented
front
case.
of her man.
Yeah.
She can't get any help. She doesn't know how to stop it. It's spontaneous. She gets this one professor who puts her with the university to try to document this. So they rebuilt her house inside the gymnasium at UCLA and tried to capture it. Now, in the movie, they used hydrogen and froze it, and it was just basically a big energy mass. But word is that this woman never got rid of it. Her and her children had to suffer it, and her children were now grown and gone. It didn't follow them, and it was still with her to that day.
So this is a true story.
It was supposed to be based on a true story. I read the book. I saw the movie.
Typical Hollywood. They make a story about something, twist
Well,
everything
yeah,
around,
they
make
can
it
make it
complete and
worse
utter
than what
horse
it-
crap.
And then you never know what's true and what's not true.
Conjuring,
Exactly,
They
yeah.
have to juice it up. It's entertainment. It's not documentary.
That's not very entertaining. That just literally brought down the whole show.
If you've never seen the movie, it's intense.
All right, we're going back to the fun stuff.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
talking about the R word or SA. So yeah, this woman was married to a ghost, and allegedly, like he was saying, she got tired of his crap, fed up with him. He was like an old like a sea shanty kind of guy too, which well,
Whatever that means.
Yeah. At that point in time, it's kind of like, well, you're the one who chose to be with that dude. Let's face facts, sailors, we fuck everything. So she should have known a long time ago not to hang out with a ghost like that. All right.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Move.
Mama told her better than that.
Yeah. So she finally got divorced, got together with another ghost, and got this hardcore relationship going on. But like Jesse said, he brought up a valid point. So if this is real and this woman is really having sex with the ghost and so on and so forth, does that mean that ghosts could physically hurt you? Because if they can have sex with you and manipulate your, sexual genitalia,
Organs. Yeah.
Well, there are those that get scratched, get pushed, have their
Yeah,
hair
but
pulled.
like, I'm sorry.
wanna see a ghost.
It takes a long. It takes more than just like a scratch or a touch or anything to give a woman an orgasm.
I could just,
Okay?
no, I was just
No,
picturing like
could
being
it
on an
hurt you?
investigation and, you know, like you always hear about the, oh my God, I got scratched as a demon. You had that one guy in the crowd like, he's like, oh.
Did somebody grab my butt?
Can you do it again?
Do it again.
Let me know that you're really there.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
No, I was
what if
addressing
they?
it more to the can they hurt you thing.
Yeah,
'Cause,
but
yeah, I've had
if-
my hair pulled pretty
why,
bad.
why? But to the extent of how they can hurt you. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like there's scratches and stuff. It's all well documented. It happens. Blah blah blah. But if a ghost is having sex with somebody, especially a female, guys, we can do whatever. Females, it takes a minute for give a female an orgasm. How is a ghost doing that? And how powerful
See,
is
that
this
right
ghost?
These
there.
guys
Everybody knows the
extreme
female
energy.
orgasm does not exist. That's a lie. We already know that's a myth now.
Yeah, you go with that.
If she's having ghost sex,
Wow.
These
Wow,
are
thanks
unanswered,
for the dead air.
puzzling questions
No,
of
I-
the
we
We
universe.
should have her on the
Again,
show
those-
and start asking her questions about that shit.
I'd love to
Because-
interrogate.
tried to
did
reach
he
out
work-
to her.
That wouldn't be an
Oh, you
interview.
didn't
That
say
would be an
interview. You said we would love to
interrogation.
interrogate
Yes,
her.
it would be an interrogation.
Cover your ears real quick.
Can you show me on the doll?
Did he
where
work the
ghost touched you?
clitoris? You know what I mean? Like, was he really, hitting that G spot? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because, like you said,
It's a G thing,
does it
baby.
go to possession? Like, because if he's
Well, that's
inside her, literally.
That's why I was asking if it was penetrative sex with the ghost.
Right.
Because if it is a literal penetrative sex, how is that happening? How long has this been going on? And where can I get some?
That's gonna be some serious.
And if it's penetration sex, like Jesse brought up, does that count as possession?
Yeah.
And-
He's inside her.
But seriously, if they can do that, now, all right, I'm going to take this lady at her word. Okay,
I don't know.
Okay.
ghost having sex with her. Let's say we'll call it 30 minutes or whatever, right?
Okay.
Imagine getting the shit kicked out of you by a ghost for 30 minutes. Like the exact
And nothing
opposite.
you could do to stop it.
Yeah, you can't fight back.
Right.
You can't do anything.
I call bullshit. Sorry.
Well, see, here's the
call
crazy.
bullshit.
Exactly.
Here's the,
I can't
I
go with the,
absolutely
I'm
believe it's
having
bullshit
sex
for
and
sure.
marrying
Yeah.
a ghost.
At the end of the day, yeah. Do I think the lady just has some serious problems that she
Well, can
needs to
she
work out?
conjure up an orgasm? Because I
Or-
mean, if you like really, because you know how you do your zen, you get onto that kind of
Oh, like the tantric stuff,
right,
like tantric sex.
Like maybe she
That
just
is
conjured
like
up herself mentally.
Well,
I'm sure she
tantric,
could probably do
tantric
that.
sex is actually having sex, but you're extending out how long your orgasm lasts, stuff
Right.
like that. I don't think that there's a way to like just mentally make yourself have an orgasm.
No,
I don't think
I mean,
so.
for
I mean,
women-
could be wrong. I mean, brain's pretty powerful.
I mean, I don't
Well,
think
if these
for a
things
man, but
weren't
for a
happening,
woman.
we wouldn't have the terms succubus and incubus.
Her dildo is named the ghost.
I mean, when you think
I would just
about
say
it,
that one.
who invented those classifications if they don't exist?
Yeah.
I mean, so
mean-
most of our fables and most of our things that don't actually exist but are in legends and stuff are
Yeah.
based loosely off things that actually happen.
Something, yeah,
I mean,
something
even like the Norse gods, Hercules, succubi. I mean, honestly, could have been a hag in a freaking cloak came in, acted like she was flying, or she could have been hammered and went home to the wrong guy. I mean, women drank back then too.
She could have been like, I mean, she could have been pulling just like fake trickery and magic, like you said.
A
I mean,
freaking hut's a hut.
You know what? We're gonna call that the David Copperfield. There you go.
There you go.
No,
It's a
that's
David
how-
Copperfield.
That's how. That's
The David Copperfield.
But honestly, I mean, I don't know of any actual documented cases of a ghost ever killing somebody. There's been documented cases of people getting smacked, scratched, touched, so on and so forth, but never one I've ever known of anybody actually getting killed. And here's my reasoning behind this. Okay, what if, let's say that all ghosts are real, right? The whole ghostly stories, everything we hear, that it's real. There are ghosts out there, there's demons out there, so on and so forth. It could maybe be because just God won't allow us to be able to be killed by a spirit. And the reason for being is because the panic that would ensue if people knew that they were real and they could fucking kill you on a whim. You could be staying in a room like right now doing this show and all of a sudden, and we're all fucking dead
Yeah.
on the ground. You know what
See,
I mean?
I think that's the big misconception with the paranormal right now, with the demons screaming. I mean, they're assuming it's going to get bad. They're assuming it's going to get more hostile. They're assuming it's going to have bad intent.
Well, and we've talked about that.
Why?
Yeah, and we've talked about that before, where like something small happens, and we even just talked about it earlier on the show, where something just gets knocked over, and automatically they just assume it's a demon because they threw it on the floor. It's like, no, bitch, they're learning how to carry a fucking pot. Yeah, it's the first time they ever tried, they dropped it. You know what I'm saying? It was an accident. They weren't trying to fucking kill anybody.
It would have
It's
to be
not a
something
demon.
spiritual, or like you said, maybe God, because these things, what we've seen thus far,
Yeah.
they can pick up objects. I've seen
Yeah.
videos of them
Yes.
turning on stoves. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, burning shit.
Yeah.
So they can obviously pick up things. I mean, how can they not hurt you with it? Like they toss shit around. You know what I mean? How can
It's
they
like
not?
some
And the
unwritten
reason for being is
unspoken
There's no
rule.
recorded documentation of someone actually being physically, besides scratching. You know what I mean? Killed or something. But that's I
Not
find
killed.
that crazy.
There's been people that's like had objects thrown at them and stuff like that. They've been hit
Right.
by objects and been smacked. Everything else in the book.
That-
I had a hat knocked off my head on an investigation once, so it physically was managed to knock my hat off. But the thing is, I've never known anybody to be like directly killed
But that's
by
what-
a
that's what-
ghost. You know what
that's
I'm
what
saying?
trips me
out.
Like it didn't like make them float
So
up in the
what
air,
about,
break
like-
their neck, and drop them dead.
That's what trips me out.
Houses,
because they could do that.
like the poltergeist house or whatever. Because
Okay, yeah. Because I mean, didn't people actually die in that house, but not maybe
Talking
not
about
the-
like Amityville?
Amityville.
No,
Yes.
that was a murder. That was an actual straight up murder. And you know what?
But
There's,
wasn't
there's
that
a
a
lot
possession?
of myth. Hold on. There's a lot of myth behind that whole Amityville thing. The guy that went to court for killing his family and everything else.
Ron
Right.
DeFeo.
Yeah, Ron DeFeo. It was all pretty much him pleading insanity. That it was his case in order to get
Okay.
away with the fucking murders.
Okay.
That he was possessed by the devil or whatever it was. Made him shoot and kill his family. Yada yada yada.
Right.
Okay. Then after that, you had the Lutz family come in, and actually their real honest to God name is not Lutz. It's not their last name. They actually go by that. That was the that they used for the movie and
Right.
the book. And I don't know the real name, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But the thing is those people had a lot of
thanks
financial
for being
issues.
so forthcoming.
Exactly. Those people, I mean, granted, yes, it's Adams. No, I don't know their names. I'm teasing. But the people that moved to the Lutz family when they moved into the house and all that, they had a lot of financial issues going on way before they ever moved in that house. I think they moved in. Possibly, they had some shit that was going on. But I think they used the murder that happened there and everything else and built up this big story about the ghosts and everything to get them the fuck out of that house. And they wound up selling it and making money on it. Because there's been other family members of theirs who came out and later down the line saying, dude, they lied about that shit. None of that was real.
Oh, really?
Well, that same family members coming out saying there's lies happens with the Conjuring house. too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it happens with all of
Now,
them.
I don't know if you gentlemen ever had the privilege of being around Tim Yancey, but Tim Yancey was one of the original Amityville investigators. And I sat through his presentation when I was doing Ghost on the Coast. And I have to tell you, he's got some photos and some evidence that I couldn't dispute.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, I'm going to
I
clarify
just
this
don't
right
think
now.
it was
Not
as
saying that.
hostile as everybody made it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that none of this was ever true, that, there wasn't any type of spirit attachments or anything else that happened in the house. Not saying that. I'm just saying there was a whole lot more evidence to
Influx.
disprove it than to actually prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
Well,
I'll give you
that
an
fucking
example.
sucks because look, I believed in a lot of that shit. Amityville Horror, I watched that when I was a kid. I mean, that shit scared the fuck out of me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's 'cause you're a pussy, but-
I am a pussy. The Conjuring, you know what I mean? That's
You are
another
what
one.
you eat, bro.
But okay, so a lot of that shit people have came in after the fact and say, oh, well, that's bullshit, or they were family members of the
Yeah.
people, right? So what other house that we can say that was probably pretty much, yeah.
hey,
That's,
you know
I
what?
mean,
I'll give you
no-
another
no-
one. Haunting in Connecticut. Half the shit you see in that movie is not true. Is not what happened in the house at all.
What house
There-
would you?
There
I'm sorry,
wasn't
go ahead.
bodies in the walls like they showed in the
Right,
movie.
right.
There were a couple of things that I had heard. Okay, like prime example, John Zaffis. All right, he was one of the investigators who in the movie they bring in this paranormal investigation team. Right.
Right.
John Zaffis was in real life was one of the investigators that was there. In the movie, he's the guy who gets attacked by this like demonic force from the attic, or I'm not the attic. Sorry, the basement. Comes up at him and attacks him, and he said, the way Hollywood described it and showed it in the movie, he said is far less scarier than what he actually went up against.
They had to boost it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like some people talk about what's described as for Amityville as the pig.
Yes.
Remember the pig?
Yeah, the pig scene. Yep.
There was a lot of things
I've never seen
in
this
that
movie.
house.
You never seen Amityville?
No.
Wow.
Oh, I feel like we're at the beginning of Expedition X when Josh Gates is freaking out because he hasn't seen the guy hasn't seen Poltergeist.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Tim has this photo from the staircase. There's 4 people on the landing. There's no furniture around them. You can see their legs. You can see what they're doing. The guy on the end is holding a pen, and he's got his hand under the clipboard of the lady next to him. And the lady next to him is doing the same thing. They're like doing this. There's a cameraman right here holding a camera with 2 hands. The other guy has the boom, and he's holding a box, which I'm assuming was attached to the boom. So whose hand is on his shoulder? Because there's 9 hands and 4 people in this picture. And I was like, and Tim put it up on the wall, and he's like, okay, somebody tell me what's wrong with this picture. And everybody's like, well, I don't know what's wrong with this picture. And I'm over there going, pick me, you know? And he's like, I was like, there's 9 hands. And he's like, you got it.
Teacher's
There's 9
pet.
hands.
Give her an apple.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, that's paranormal activity. Blood running down the walls and
Yeah.
the basement
and-
blowing up in blood. That's
And
Hollywood.
the guy she's
Shining.
talking about, Tim Yancey, I can vouch for him too. A very stand-up
I
guy.
missed him.
Yeah, we all missed him. He passed away not too long ago. Actually, it's been a lot longer than it seems. You know what I mean? But to
Yeah,
me, it seems
it's-
like it was
I
like
think
just
it's
a
like a
few
year and a
months
half
ago. But yeah,
or
it's
2
been like
years.
2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tim, man, very stand-up guy, very no nonsense about investigations. Funny guy. Don't get me wrong. He was
he's
definitely would have fit
he
in
was
with all of us hanging
hilarious.
out for sure. But yeah, very very straight up dude, man. Cool guy.
Yes, he was one of the original Amityville investigators, as well as many other places.
All right, I'm going to ask this question around the table. And since we're talking about proof of investigations, such, and this actually can tie into some pretty good conversation here. Jesse, you were hired on a professional ghost hunting team that will be filmed in Panavision. No, it'll be filmed on whatever network. Let's just say Travel Channel. They ask you because their ratings have been going down a little bit to fake evidence. You do it since they pay you?
Fuck no.
Okay. Jason?
Would I fake evidence?
Yeah, because they're paying you. You're on the TV show and all that to keep it going.
Honestly, it would go against everything I believe because, like I told you from the beginning, when I joined the group, I mean, I'm a very big skeptic, and I see a lot of these fucking paranormal groups that go out there, and I'm like, that's bullshit. Yeah. And I call bullshit because they say things and do things that we can't prove. You know what I mean? But they want us to believe that happens. So no, to answer your question, no, I don't think I could.
Kim?
No,
Nope.
no.
It's all about the integrity.
No, I mean, it has
So
to be.
yeah,
Man.
across the board, I definitely would not let them pay me.
I mean, if you're under contract,
no,
you
I'm
gotta do what
kidding.
you gotta do. But
Here's the deal.
It
It-
wouldn't feel good.
Yeah, here's the deal.
I would
If
feel like
they
I was
ask you to
deceiving
amp
the
up a
public.
little bit on camera,
Yeah, I would.
you know what
I
I'm
would
saying?
totally over dramatize
Yeah,
it a little
yeah.
bit. I would
Yeah.
be dramatic about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna like fake shit.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna tie a
You're not
string
gonna
to a
fake
pot and
evidence
drag it
and
around the
stuff.
room.
Yeah,
you know, what I mean, I'm not gonna like flat out do that.
Yeah.
But I do have questions.
Shoot.
And mostly for Kim because she's the most experienced one in the whole room, and we're interviewing her anyway. I'm trying to think of how to word it. So, when you're doing an investigation, wouldn't it make more sense to like investigate over like a longer period of time to develop more consistent evidence? Like, hey, if you do this, like
I think so. Yes. I don't like 2 and 3 hour pit stops. I call them pit stops because you can't classify what's going on in a short little investigation. You need to go back. That was one of the big things I liked about FGT. When I was on Florida Ghost Team, we would do hundreds of help calls. I've done over 400 now. If you're getting something and you can't quite figure out what, you're going to have to go back. And you're going to go back and you're going to go back.
You know what? It's true. Like I would say, like a 90% of the investigations that were help calls that I've done, I would say at least like 90% of them we went back on an average of about 3 times, maybe
Yes.
more.
so
on
about
average.
3 times is
This is
or
help
where
more.
calls.
you would.
Or more. Sometimes
Yeah,
we would
keep
have
doing
ongoing
investigations,
cases.
keep documenting everything to see what's been going on. See, like you said, see if there's consistency.
See, I'm
But
really
also,
bad.
too,
Do you two try to make them respond to certain stimuli,
yes,
Yes.
like each and every time?
yes.
Like same place, same time, same apparatus,
Same
same
machine,
middle
yep.
finger, whatever, you know.
Yeah. It's one of those because you're trying to keep, well, you know this very well because going through CSI training, stuff like that. You know, we try to keep a very controlled environment, you know, when we're doing the investigations and with the experiments per se. And you know this just as well as I do, man. It's trial by error. You know, nothing ever works consistent every 1,000 times you go out. It might work maybe 3 out of 1,000.
Well, that would be. That's kind of why I'm asking, because that's how you would get your proof. If you did something and it consistently responded,
Yeah.
and all the other variables are the same,
Yep.
and it responded to that stimuli, hey, there's your proof. And there's where I consider brick in the head evidence, aside
yeah,
from,
absolutely.
I
you know,
think that's
Yeah.
where you
a
come
fully
up with
formed apparition jumps in front of me and throws me across the room, literally.
That's what I.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's the difference between a residual haunting and an intelligent haunting.
Yeah.
Residuals just repeat,
Yeah, on a
and they
loop.
don't interact.
Well, what Jesse's saying is like if every time, let's say we have the teddy bear, we'll use the teddy bear as an example.
Yeah.
We bring the teddy bear because we think there's like a child haunting in the house, and we set it up in this corner. And this very first night we're doing the investigation, the damn bear wound up on the other side of the damn room.
Yep.
Right. We come back, you know,
We're going to do it again.
come back 2 weeks later, we're going to put it there, see if it can do it again,
And
so
again.
on and so forth.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
and see if we because you're kind of pulling off two things at once here. One, like Jesse was just saying about the variables, you're proving that yes, there is something here that's definitively reacting and with that fucking bear, right?
Yeah.
But you're also at the same time proving that the motherfucker's intelligent. It knows you just put this bear here and it just moved it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Like, stop putting the bear there. I don't want it there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mother, you know, it's very true. You know, but the thing is that with all investigations, man, the shit that we do, it's all trial by error. It really
Everything
is.
we do is trial
Yeah.
by error.
Because
There's
sometimes-
no two places that are ever the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're really fucked up. Sometimes it's an easy debunk. I mean, you have to go in open-minded, new slate, new job, you know.
And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up just real quick about what we're talking about the repeat process. Also, another reason why sometimes the repeat process is good is you may see something you overlooked the first time
Yes.
and realize that this
It
is
happened
That's
not
what's
there.
causing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like you were telling me a story about someone being heavily affected by a outlet behind their bed.
Yes.
It was causing them to feel like somebody was watching them. They weren't feeling good. They were a little scared, a little freaked out. Started interacting
Hearing
with
voices.
their nervous
Right,
system.
right.
Yeah,
Thinking they were seeing ghosts.
and they got it fixed, and boom, problem was fixed.
What-
Yeah,
what
you
was that
always
called?
have to go with the debunk.
That was with the EMF field that was coming off that. This alarm clock was, I mean, straight out pegging the freaking K2 meter. All right.
All right.
And so I turn around and and the lady said that throughout the entire house, never anything paranormal happens. Nothing. It's always when she went to bed. Her pillow, where her head was maybe not even a foot away from the alarm clock. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it was like just direct shot on her the whole time. You know what I mean? And the one thing is, there are a lot of people very susceptible to EMF. We're all, you know, we all can actually
Or
have issues with
electrons
EMF,
and
but it
neutrons
just takes
react.
a lot higher level sometimes with some people. Some people are very sensitive to it. And it can cause auditory hallucinations. It could cause physical, you know, illnesses. Like it could cause rashes. There's so many different side effects that can come with this. But a lot of it being more like you would think is paranormal, hearing the auditory hallucinations. For people who don't understand, that means voices that aren't there. And then visual hallucinations, visually seeing things that aren't there. I got to dumb it down for some people. No, I'm kidding. But
You
yeah.
just mansplained.
Yeah, exactly. So, long story short, we pulled the alarm. I told the lady, I said, just do me a favor. Next time you go to sleep, you know, tonight when you go to bed, I'm going to take the alarm clock, unplug it, don't use it, put it aside. And I said, give me a call tomorrow, let me know how you slept. Because she was being affected like every night. Literally, the next day, she called me up. She goes, didn't have any issues last night, nothing. I'm like, yeah, it was all because of an alarm clock, nothing paranormal whatsoever.
I did a help call once outside the Orlando area, and the kids were extremely paranoid. They were seeing things, hearing things. First thing you do is go in to sweep the house and try to debunk it. We weren't getting more than a .8 on the EMF. I go in the main playroom for these kids. There's a power strip in the corner that's fully loaded, and it's breaching 53.1.
Damn.
And it was an ancient power strip, and it was like, okay, well, there's a big problem.
Yeah.
So I told the mom, I was like, you're lucky that thing ain't caught on fire. It was even looking like it was about to just go. So she unplugged it.
You sometimes get these old houses, man, with bad wiring, from, these things have been around for decades, and they get bad wiring in them. Shoddy craftsmanship sometimes, from back in the day. These guys who
Cross
really don't
lines.
have a license to do the work they're doing.
Don't cross water lines
Yeah.
and electrical lines. 'Cause
And
you're gonna get activity.
Yeah, it'll cause a Faraday cage. You'll have all kinds
Yep.
of situations that'll happen, all because of electricity. That not even remotely paranormal at the house. Matter of fact, there was one investigation I did where this lady said that actually it was a couple. At night, they kept hearing voices, like, from the room every time they lay down. It was like right when they go to sleep, they would be hearing these voices, people talking right there in the bedroom, like in front of them, and it was
Right.
freaking them out, right? So we go and investigate. Sure shit, that first night, it was me and one other person were up in that room, and all of a sudden I hear blah, 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 blah. I don't remember what they were talking about now, this years ago, but there was a voice distinctly behind us. Here's what was happening. We managed to figure this out as the night progressed. Down the end of this apartment that they were in, it wasn't a house, it was an apartment. Down at the end of the alleyway that was right outside their bedroom was the main drag of like the main street, right, of this little town.
Right.
All right. So the people, when they're walking up down that sidewalk and were talking and shit, carry on conversations like people do when they're out and about partying, having a good time. The freaking Doppler effect that was happening with the voices was echoing down that literally down that alleyway, and they slept with their bedroom window open. They kept hearing the voices. It sounded like it was coming from in the fucking room, and all it was just an echo of these people talking down the end of the damn drag there.
I saw something like that, but it wasn't because their window was open. It was a vent pipe that went from an alley up into a quad of apartments. So anywhere the stove vents were, you could hear whoever was on the street plain as day.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, "Oh, we got voices in here. You got people out in the alley, and they're standing right by the vent pipe, and it's just coming right up the pipe."
I'm gonna pass this question around the table. Jesse, what would excite you more on an investigation? Debunking the claim that somebody has and finding an actual rational, reasonable explanation for it, or actually finding evidence that it's actually paranormal?
It's situational.
Okay.
So if it's like, if the homeowner or person is scared to death of it, I hope I find something rational. If it's just like a residual haunt, or some, their ghost is their friend, like it's you literally like, oh crap, I forgot to turn that light off. The light flips off, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's happened. Hell, it was at my house before my house was cleaned out. But that's literally how my house was. I'm like,
All right.
oh, I forgot to turn that light off.
All right,
Light turns
Jason,
off.
for you.
I think I agree with Jess, because like a situation, if it's someone who's scared to death, you know what I mean, and you would want to find something rational, kind of ease their minds and stuff like that. But for me personally, I would want to see some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, again, we've been on investigations, we've seen things and experienced things, but I need that. It's like I need that.
I told you
that
it's like
ultimate
crack,
proof,
bro.
dude. It's like it is. It's like you want more of it. So for myself, I would want to know physically. I want to know that there is something going on there.
All right, Kim, what about you?
I like validation. Because I'm
Validation that it's real?
intuitive. So yeah, it gets me really hyped up when something as you know, I keep a journal, and I don't always tell people what I'm sensing. I write it down and I put it away. And then if it happens, I say, okay, go get my book. There's no way I can write it down when they just told me. And
Right.
but I will say that in all the help calls I've done, my greatest thrill is helping a family sleep that was scared to death, and we showed them it was nothing. Because when there's kids in the house and they're terrified, and you give them peace, that's a reward that doesn't come easily.
Yeah, let's find some
So
alarm clocks.
that gives me a great thrill to help someone's children sleep.
What about you, Chance?
Fucking Jesse. Jesse said something got me laughing right before he asked me. I would say for me, I would say the debunking because I love to look at the homeowner and go, "See, told you I was fucking smarter than you."
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I would say honestly,
You're not kidding, though.
I do like debunking because it to me it's like it's kind of like solving a crime. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So for me, the aspect of debunking it actually makes me more excited than finding the paranormal evidence. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, that breaking the head shit when that happens, and you guys seen it happen with me. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking awesome, right? And it is gives you an adrenaline rush. But for me, I think it's the inquisitive side of me that I just got to find the fucking answer. So if I find the answer and it's not paranormal, I feel like I definitely accomplished something at that point in time. Because, like, I'll give you an example. The ghost pops up. It's like, holy shit. But what did I accomplish? Nothing. I had an experience with something paranormal.
Right.
All right. Where if I turn around and I broke the pattern and figured out what the fuck was wrong and it turned out to be something logical, then I feel like I actually accomplished something.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
for me, that's the thrill of the debunking part gets me more.
I'll have to say I've debunked more than I've proven.
Me too. I would definitely say I've debunked far more than
I
I've
think
ever
that's
proven.
Someone
exactly how it
online
always
not
is.
long ago, I was in a paranormal chat room, and they said, "Oh, we don't do help calls. They're a waste of time."
What? Why?
Because
Because
say
they
you spend
probably
too
don't
much
know how to
time
do one.
sitting in the dark and there's nothing there. Well, everybody knows they don't perform on demand.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
maybe
the
they
goal.
don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Maybe they only want to talk to the family.
And see, and that's the other thing that goes back to what Jesse was asking about doing an investigation over a prolonged period of time.
Yep.
Because, dude, you can't make a ghost work on cue. If you could, I'd be in fucking Vegas making millions, you know? But the thing is that also, too, finding the evidence, if there is something paranormal going on, yeah, you're definitely probably going to have to go back quite a few times over an extended
Yes.
amount of time to really not only say, yes, there's something paranormal going on here, but here's what I think the answer may be to that paranormal
Yes.
thing. A lot of people want they want that flash in the pan. They want to go to that one location, go out there for one night, have shit happen, and say, man, this is cool. I got this on video, got this on audio, so on and so forth, and leave it at that.
Right.
Then you have the people that like for me, I'm just fucking inquisitive, and I like to figure shit out. I don't like not having the answer. So for me, it's like if there's a place that, let's say I go there one time and it does have shit happening, I like to maybe go back quite a few times to see if I can figure out, okay, well, we know it's happening. Why is it happening?
Yeah.
How the fuck is
and
it
what
happening?
is it?
You know
Is
what I'm
it
saying? Exactly.
poltergeist? Is it
You want to get a little
elemental?
deeper
Is it
into it.
spirit? Is it, there's so many classifications. We seem to only use ghost and demon now. There's a whole range of classifications.
Well, explain them. Explain them.
I don't want to explain them all. There's
Why?
a lot. I mean, like
This is what we're here to do.
Elementals. Elementals
What is
are
an
human.
elemental?
They are an energy
Wait,
force.
wait. Hold on. What'd you say?
This is what we're here to do.
No. What is what'd you call it?
Elemental?
Elemental.
I swear to God, on my end, it's like you said imminental.
Elemental.
What the fuck is that?
What's the
It's not
elemental?
human. It's an energy force, and it wants to be human. So it mimics. But most of the time, if you actually see one, they're not fully formed. They'll be missing part of their legs or their arms, or
Sounds creepy.
it is creepy.
Why
But the thing I enjoy about elementals is they like to have fun. They are very mischievous. They are curious about human behavior to the point they'll stay right with you. As I said, that investigation we did, I feel like there was one there. They also don't have the normal characteristics, let's say, of you see an apparition. It's walking up the hallway. An elemental might not walk up the hallway. And I hate to use movies, I really do, but Insidious, the jerky crawling, dragging up the hallway, yeah, you'll see that.
It's like me after a 3-day tequila binge.
Yeah. On the ceiling, we've seen
Right,
evidence where
right.
something's crawling on the ceiling. Humans don't crawl on the ceiling. They're not Spider-Man. This isn't motherfucking Spider-Man. No, it's just energy. It's not a spirit. It's wanting to be something it's not.
All right, so on this episode of Paraprobe, the question is going to be, do we believe there are multiple different classifications, or is it just a spirit or demon? That would
I
be the
believe
question.
there's multiples.
Multiples? Jesse?
I don't know. I really
yet.
don't know. I absolutely have no opinion on it
And
because
that's not a problem.
it's
I mean, I believe that like Kim says, I think there's multiple because you have your residuals, you have the ones that don't interact with you. You got some that do interact with you. I think they're definitely different.
Well, I'm
types.
talking about not just like the standards. I'm talking about like elementals, fairies,
human, non-human.
Gnomes, gremlins.
gnomes, gremlins, all that stuff.
Shit. Are we going into cryptids too?
We're going, and not so much as cryptids. Cryptids really are kind of like their own ballpark thing.
Okay.
But isn't a
Leprechauns.
fairy and a leprechaun
Leprechauns
a
aren't.
cryptid?
There's not crypt. Those aren't cryptids.
There are cryptids, yeah. They're believed
They're-
to be actual and old spirits.
Old
is what they're supposed
spirits.
to be. Yeah.
That's
See,
weird.
that's where you got to study. See, I had no choice but to research for my
She just
first.
called you stupid.
Like, no, I did not, Dick.
kind of did though.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Wait a minute, on camera.
Example. When I started trying to figure out what was in my house, I was a teenager. So
Oh,
what
so you
did I
had
have?
time.
Where-
You had
where was I
time.
going to
That's
get-
what you had.
Yeah, I had time, and I had people who called me crazy and cuckoo. We didn't have ghost shows.
Fuck,
We
that
didn't have
took me up.
Google. We didn't have all this information out there. You went to the public library and
Yeah.
you found books by Hans Holzer
Yeah.
and.
Or in Kim's time when they were on stone tablets.
Oh. Anyway,
Chiseled.
Hey, what
So,
did Moses
I mean-
look like?
That's fucked up. I can't breathe now. Fuck.
Ass.
they're not getting lunch. They are not getting lunch. But yeah,
Please-
I mean,
please-
you had no
please
choice
subscribe
but to
so we can
study
make
these
money.
things. And I've studied a lot of legends, a lot of folklore, cryptids, ghosts. I have a fascination with ancient cultures and civilizations. I truly believe that magic once did exist in the world.
Yeah.
We've just cut our brains
Can't
off to
believe
it.
it's magic.
Society tells us it doesn't
Right,
exist,
right.
therefore it doesn't. Who says? Who says it doesn't exist?
We're taught to believe that.
Who made up
doesn't
that rule?
Exist. Yeah.
Who has that proof that? Okay, don't prove
Okay.
to me it does exist. Prove to me it doesn't.
All right, let me
exist.
ask you this then. If you believe magic existed, okay.
Do you believe in magic?
Do you also believe that there were like actual, and I'm talking about like you see in the movies, wizards? And I'm talking about like
Merlin.
like Merlin. There you go, prime example. Do you think Merlin could have been like an actual historical character who really actually?
The thing is,
Did you just say the foo? I missed the foo.
yeah, I do. The same way I believe that there are witches. I don't believe that there are true vampires in the Dracula sense.
What do you think they are?
Don't know. Haven't studied that one enough. That's not
People
my
that practice, how do you say it? The sanguine,
I mean,
where the bloodletting, or not bloodletting, but blood drinking. I
Sanguine.
can't.
Yeah,
Is it? I
sanguine.
said it right. Okay.
Sangre? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I had a brain fart on the
We
word.
have voodoo.
Hoodoo?
Look at voodoo. Hoodoo.
You do.
Yeah.
Power of the
I do.
babe.
I love how
Babe with
Jesse
the
could
power.
fall in it.
He's the babe with the
Any
power.
pop culture, I think Jesse could fall right into it with
I
me.
mean, look
David
at the ancient
Bowie's the shit.
Egyptians. Look at Egyptians, Incans, Mayans.
It's not mine. It's yours.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean-
but it didn't work out well for them. I mean, they
didn't work
literally
out well for them.
they're sacrificing kids.
But
They thought the
how
calendar
do they
ended in
exist
2021.
and have the same
they were smart.
legends,
They were
4,000 and
smart
5,000 miles apart, never talking to each
Yeah.
other.
because
But they have the
Pangea.
same
wait.
stories.
Wait a minute, but what are we talking about here? Because
Explain Pangea, Jesse. For
Pangea
our audience
was-
who doesn't understand.
Pangea was when the world was all one continent before everything separated.
But during Incan, Mayan, Egyptian, it was already
they
separated.
were already separated by then.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I
the
think so,
continental
yeah.
shift had happened.
Are
yes.
you sure
Yeah.
though? Because
Yeah.
we don't actually know, do we?
I mean, that is
Well,
true.
I
we
mean, they
really
just
don't
give
know.
everything now.
It's called
Right.
history.
They're even
It's,
debating
it's
the
before
straight to
written.
Gibraltar.
It's before written history, so
It's-
we
Yes.
don't exactly know.
No, it's before modern written history, the book. It was depicted on cave walls, temple walls, stone tablets, as you're so fond of showing me.
Hieroglyphs.
I didn't show you any stone tablets.
We're
That was
saying-
Moses.
So they literally had
There
tablets
is
back in the day.
there is documentation. It's just whether you're willing to accept it or not.
Sure.
Most people won't accept that. Oh, well, that doesn't exist.
What doesn't
Why?
exist?
Example,
Oh,
the
just-
Akashic records. Do you know most people don't believe anything in those records?
I wish we hadn't lost a library at Alexandria because a lot of this probably would have been put to bed.
Yeah.
You know.
Quickly.
And then there's those who did try to explain the truth and were declared heretics, such as Nostradamus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
the most brilliant people in history were mostly crazed heretics according to society. So who's to say they were wrong just because the masses can't wrap their head around it? It makes them feel safer to
She
not
just called me
believe.
stupid twice in
No,
one episode.
it makes people feel
In
better
about
to
10
not
minutes,
believe
actually.
than
Within
to
about
believe.
span about 10 minutes.
Because to believe puts fear in them. To say it doesn't exist takes that fear away. So they'd rather not believe willingly because then they don't have anything to
Now she
fear.
called you a fucking non-believer.
Well, I mean, it goes against what they want.
I
to
am a
believe anyway.
skeptic, though. That is
This
true.
is
I mean,
true. We
I'm a
both
And
are.
skeptic.
honestly, look, Pangea and the crossing of cultures and people having similar ideas and similar designs for things is the most logical conclusion that I can arrive to.
Yeah.
I mean, we all lived on the same continent at one point.
Yeah, but
Now, obviously, it took a long time for that to separate, and so long that people change colors, like when you put things in the water. Color changing. Remember all those toys that were color changing?
hypocolors. Remember the old
I had
T-shirts?
the
You
t-shirt.
touch-
Yes.
Yeah, I had hypercolor t-shirts.
But like it, I understand that it took a very long time for all that to go down and all that.
Yep.
But that would be the most logical explanation for people having similar designs, similar beliefs, similar this, that, and the other, without having interacted that we know of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can see that, yeah.
But in all fairness, though, I mean, to point this out about him being very skeptical, it is because he's an atheist and he hates God. But
That is not true at all.
it's not what was written on the bathroom walls. But anyways,
That's what
No,
my
I'm
mom
kidding.
said either.
he's very like Jesse and I very much, and even I'd say all of us at this table are very, to a degree and point, very skeptical. I would think that out of our group, and this is being dead honest, I think out of our group here, I think that Kim is probably a little more accepting of the paranormal than we are. Even though I've been doing this for a
But
long
that's
time.
exactly what makes her a
Good for
medium,
job.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
because
makes her
she's
good.
open-minded,
Bitch.
she's accepting, she's receptive to things. Where me and Jay would be like, yeah, that may be bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jay and I were on an investigation not long ago, and I said something about, I feel like there's something watching us in this particular area. So he went over there to check it out. We got orbs. And I believe there was something on the infrared.
So there's a lot of people that say orbs are just BS.
Yeah.
I only claim the ones I actually see.
Like,
I see it with
what
the
are they?
human
With your
eye.
eyes.
So what? Okay. So what are they? Okay. So people say they could be dust
I have
particles.
no idea.
Some people say they're gaseous fumes, like from
Ectoplasm.
a dead animal.
Okay.
My mother used to talk about my mother was one of those women who, when she said she walked 5 miles through the snow to school, she did.
Yeah, but
They lived way out in the backwoods.
sometimes they have intelligent movements.
Animals die, fumes get trapped.
it's a possibility.
So when the skin splits, the fumes come out.
Right.
They create what some call a fireball. It glows. It's noxious fumes. And it's heat attractive. So it's going to streak towards a heat signature.
Okay.
So
That-
people thought they were being chased by phantasms. No. It's as soon as it hits you, it's just going to poof, and it's gone. Because
I mean-
it's just fumes. There's a scientific
There's
explanation.
definitely is a scientific explanation, but I think
But
there's other things
let's
that.
say somebody's out in the woods hunting Bigfoot and they see an orb coming at them through the woods.
Right.
They're going to
Raccoon
call
eyes.
it an orb. They're not going to instantly think, okay, this is just gaseous fumes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if your mind's already preset.
Oh,
to that.
you got to go with the science. I'll give you another example. I did
Last
an
time I was told it was
investigation
just science.
once.
It didn't work out well for me.
I recognized some symbols in this girl's room. I recognized a couple of books on the shelf. Everybody was wondering what was going on. Well, go move the rug at the foot of her bed. She's got an open pentagram there. She's working her spells. She's got her chalk laying there. She's got her occult books right there on the shelf, black arts, teaching herself how to open this portal. She's wearing her talismans every day.
Yeah.
I mean, did you bring it on yourself? Or did you just become open-minded enough that something attached to you?
Yeah.
Is it your will to it? Are
So
you willing
could-
it to happen, or did she actually tap into something?
The
There's-
open-mindedness thing you said there, is it for something to attach to you? Do you have to be open-minded to it, or
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think there's people who are susceptible, such as children, the elderly, and I kind of feel bad for the people that are institutionalized for mental illness, from seeing things or hearing voices, because who knows what's actually going on in their world.
yeah, it
Yeah.
may not be schizophrenia.
It might not be a
That's a good point.
psychosis. It might
That's a
be
good point.
that they're being fucked with by a spirit.
There have been cases of people that people try to basically Baker Act them and put them into homes for having issues. That they literally went to court, and some of the stuff that they were saying was that because they had ghostly activity going on, and hence why the people thought they were crazy, like their family members, such like that, trying to get them locked up. And judges ruled them to be competent, and they did not get sent out.
They should still do that because there's a lot of people that wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I think for the general person, it's easier to not believe than to even start to try to believe. Because if you believe, it's the stereotype that all ghosts are evil. We have all this bad, it's a demon, it's this, it's that. People hear ghosts, they don't think Casper. They think Amity, Conjuring, because, that's what's out there. So they instantly think they're going to be attacked or something. So it's better to say, oh, no, that doesn't exist, rather than, okay, let me sit down and think about this. It's just anything that gives a person fear, they're going to block out. I mean,
Not
except for
necessarily.
jumping out of planes. I mean, that's adrenaline fear
Lord
and
Jesus,
fear
help
of
me
the
God.
unknown.
Back to the
That's two
freaking
different-
planes again.
Yeah, eventually I'm going
Come
to get
on.
y'all to jump out of a plane.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get you to go shark swimming then.
If you
Again.
put me in a cage,
again.
I might. I've swum with enough sharks, thank you.
Again.
And alligators.
demographics,
I don't
bro,
enjoy it.
demographics.
Fair.
I think.
No, that shit. I ain't doing that shit. Fuck
yeah,
that.
no. He wants to do
Fuck
that.
the planes.
He
fuck the
wants to go
cliff.
shark.
Sharks are
Jumping.
delicious.
I've been.
Look, I'm talking about going in the water with them.
He wants to.
I'll swim in the same water as them. I'm not going to deliberately
I got-
go like, ooh, shiny shark. But like,
I got pictures of me swimming with sharks.
Yeah.
those
see?
were like docile.
Well, you
fuck
didn't
that.
have to like make fun of it.
I mean,
Yeah, sure, there
I've
was
lived
stuff.
in
but
Florida my
whatever.
whole life. I've swam with more gators and sharks than I'm probably even aware of.
Yeah, that shit sketches me out a little bit too.
You know what I'm more scared of than a shark is a stingray.
Why?
My ex-husband got stung at our riverfront place, and if I had gotten stung, I'm convinced I would have died because I watched him turn 8 colors, and that was the most primal screaming I'd ever heard in my life. I don't ever want to hear a man scream like that again.
When I was in the Navy, one of the
I'm convinced
officers
I'd
on our
died.
ship had gone out to go snorkeling, and he was just walking out to the water, to go snorkeling, and he stepped on a stingray, and the tail, the barb, had just went right through the back of his ankle, and literally just missed his Achilles tendon by like
Oh,
a
yeah,
quarter
that
of an
would've
inch, man.
sucked.
Yeah, I mean it was real close.
It was. A shark. Yeah, you see what's got you. You got the bite. Stingrays, they're sly. They're down there under the sand.
Yeah, that's why you got a
You can't
stingray
s-
shuffle. Didn't
Yeah,
we
you
used
do
to
the
preach
stingray
that stuff?
shuffle when you go to
Yep.
the beach after you do your shuffle.
That's
But
why I ain't going in the
what
water.
really sucked was he always would pull the barbs when we catch him at the shore. And my 2 little nieces gave him hell because he couldn't protect himself, so Wade left the barb in this particular stingray. And the only reason we knew it was the same stingray is because the hook was stuck in such a manner we just cut the line and let him keep the hook. And when Wade got stung and looked down, it was the gold shiny hook.
It was out for revenge. That's what that
Yes.
was.
Yes, and it was a good 25 minutes before Wade went back in the water because he was re-rigging the line because he cut it. And he went back out there and
Yeah,
right through
revenge.
this leather impenetrable Eddie Bauer water shoe, right through it into his foot. And I know that some certain venoms will make a laceration open up, makes it. I ain't never seen anything like this in my life. Within a minute, I could see every tendon in his foot. I could see the bones. I could see everything. That hole just said, I'm pissed. And I just don't think I could have lived through it. I had to give him major kudos. He spent 10 days in ICU. I don't think I would have lived through it.
Yeah,
They
so-
scare me much more than a shark does.
Needless to say, I'm not getting in the water. I'm not jumping out of in planes. I'm not going skydiving, which is kind of crazy because I could go $170, $180 on a motorcycle.
I was just gonna say
I don't understand
the
that shit.
same
You gotta
guy
need
that I
your
could
speed.
watch haul ass on a bike.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
Like,
with
Everybody
nothing
has their
between
thrills.
you
Control?
and the highway and another
What-
car.
I don't.
Yeah, you're behind the wheel. That's exactly what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
the
That's the
control.
reason why I can't. I even tried to go indoor skydiving because
hell?
my wife wanted
Roof
me to go.
diving?
No,
That's
so
not sky.
they put basically a giant fan. You're in a wind tunnel, basically.
Oh, you did one of the. Yeah.
I didn't do that
Oh, you didn't.
at all
Why?
because I hugged the instructor. Because I was floating in the air, had no control, and I literally just wrapped around this poor person.
Yeah.
Oh my
Your
God.
reaction.
I have
was,
video.
Do you?
It's on DVD.
We're gonna.
Oh my God! Got to give us the video.
We are
dude.
gonna air
It
that
was-
shit.
You have. If you don't give me the video, I will break into your house in the middle of the night and steal it. Yeah, I'm getting that
I
video
gotta
footage
see
one
that
way or
shit.
another.
I have to see
I
that
was so
shit.
scared.
Shit.
I went flying, and I didn't even get full lift. I got a little bit of lift, and then I freaked out.
I was gonna say, at what
Oh my
point
God,
did you
I've done
panic?
that.
When my feet left the earth.
Right then and there, you panicked.
Yeah, I was because I didn't jump. I didn't make myself. I want to try it again. I really
just
do.
had to kick
Yeah.
off and you,
I think now that
Yeah.
you broke the ice of doing it, you know what I'm saying? The second time around, you probably wouldn't be as scared.
I was just gonna go drunk.
And throw it at everybody.
Yeah, I
There
don't.
is that.
I don't think I go drunk.
Take at least a shot.
Yeah.
Loosen me up
Yeah,
a little
listen
bit.
to Carl.
puking in a wind
Because
tunnel.
I'm
Not
that
smart.
I'm that type of dude that I need icebreaker. I need to loosen up before I go do.
Like, I'm just gonna do a
anything.
shot
Yeah.
now. Granted, my shot glass is a liter tall, but Yeah.
Yep.
And see, for me, I've always been the guy that if it can get me killed, I'm gonna try it. I don't know why. I just
Again,
Mine's
I've
sleeping.
always been
I'll
that
do
way.
it.
I'm the.
Yeah.
Mine is. I'm an animal junkie and a paranormal junkie. If I can interact with an animal that most people will never interact with, yeah. Like I've ridden an elephant, I've ridden a camel, I've ridden a zebra, I've ridden an ostrich.
How was that?
It was fun.
An ostrich?
ridden a few
Yep.
hogs in my time.
Yep.
but-
I've ridden an ostrich, I've ridden a camel, a zebra, and an elephant. Elephants are actually a lot of fun once you get over the fear of their size.
The height.
Yeah, they're cool.
I-
They're super cool.
Yeah, they're cool. We had one that was circus trained, and you could go up, tap your foot on the ground. He'd straighten his trunk up. You put your foot in the tip of his trunk and hold on, and he'd swing you full
That's
pendulum.
cool. That's cool.
That
But-
I am not gonna lie, that'd be pretty badass.
But at
That'd be
the
a lot of fun.
time, this was the biggest African bull elephant in North American captivity. So that pendulum was probably a good 30 feet in each direction. It was no little. I wasn't
Okay.
on the toddler swing.
Here's
You're
a fun
talking full
question.
tilt.
Jesse, you had a chance to ride on any animal in the world, and it won't attack you, no nothing. You could ride it. Well, what would it be?
A rhino.
Rhino?
Rhino.
All right.
I
Jason?
think.
Cheetah.
Cheetah? That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, man. Need for speed.
I'm afraid of heights, so I'm not going to pick a bird. I was going to say a condor, but no.
Bat.
I like my bats. I'm going to say lion.
A lion?
Yeah,
All right.
like that scene from Narnia when she's on Aslan's back. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be really cool.
You?
I would say for me that it would have to be one or two things. It would either have to be
Yeah, pick
obviously
one.
like a great white shark. You know, like let's say I could breathe underwater for a moment. I could actually literally hold onto its fin and
It's
ride on.
merman.
Dude, it'd be,
Aquaman.
yeah, merman, motherfucker. That'd be really cool. Or, and I know this is gonna sound goofy, but giraffe. I've always liked giraffes. Seen them at the,
Giraffes are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always liked
They're a
seeing
lot
giraffes at
stronger
the
than they
zoo and
look.
stuff, and I
They'll
thought it'd be
whoop
kind
your
of fun
ass.
to ride one. Yeah.
I got picked up by my ponytail by one
Oh.
because I wouldn't share my French fries. We used to, no, seriously, we used to observe chimpanzees for a report, and we would get permission to get out of our cars with these giraffes, and I didn't see him come up, and I was having my lunch, and he picked me up by my ponytail right off the hood of the car.
Shit, that would be intimidating as hell.
No, I told him. No,
Shit.
This went from this is cool to caught on video.
yeah, we didn't have video back then, but I was lucky somebody was on the
Or
ground.
TV.
So it was
Or
like
cameras.
I was only up there maybe 15 seconds.
Oh, communication.
Then
Talking
when I
pictures.
fell, that was the hard part.
Yeah, I would
the
imagine.
fall.
Shit.
Morse code.
You guys are killing me. This is why they need a babysitter.
Hey man, my side hurts.
Smoke signals.
That's wrong. Oh
I'm
man.
dying.
Spear hunting.
Skinwalkers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she was around back in the day when the idea of an ass rock was throwing a rock and hitting somebody in the ass.
All right, enough. Fucking
All right, enough of that. All right. All right, so moving on.
Got that out.
One of the other things I do find fascinating about paranormal drafts. No, I'm kidding. One of the things that's crazy about people who do these investigations that we do, doing paranormal investigations, that I find is so humorous. These same people right here at this table have openly admitted to like things that we're scared about, like Jesse talking about the whole flipping out on getting on this air thing, right? You won't do skydiving,
Fuck
right?
no.
But yet you guys will go out there and go chase ghosts and possibly what could be a demon in a house. Oh, and trust me, I'm gonna clarify now. Not everything's a demon. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is sometimes you go to a very brand new location, you never know what you could potentially run into. You know what I'm saying? Because you've never been there before. So you'll take that chance on something that could be demonic, but you won't go skydiving.
Yeah, I think because,
Demon, I'm on the ground with that.
Yeah, no,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
need to
50-50
be
chance you're going to
10,000
survive that
feet in the
shit.
air to, no, it's just
Yeah,
not my
the
thing.
chances of survival, I don't know.
I can't do heights. I've tried. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta say though, to be honest, like I hate spiders. Okay, that is like my all-time. Okay,
Arachnophobia?
my all-time biggest fear is being shark attacked. Is my all-time biggest fear. But yet I love the fucking ocean. I love sharks.
True.
Jaws is my all-time favorite movie.
True.
I think it's because of facing my fear head on that you know what I'm saying. So like it really doesn't like. It's an all-time biggest fear for me is being attacked by a shark. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I get in the water, like at the beach, the only thing going through my fucking head the whole time is dun 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 dun. What am I having for lunch today? Dun dun dun.
Shark.
Yeah, everything else interferes with the dun going through my head.
Right.
All right, because it's going through continuous the whole time I'm in the water. Don't know why. It's just always been there. But spiders, though,
Nope.
dude, I will karate chop you in the fucking throat to get away from a fucking spider because I hate fucking spiders. I hate.
I
I
know
got bit
people
on my
like
back by a
that.
woman as a kid. Cannot stand them. So
I hate them. I'm not a fan of them. I just don't like you said, if you saw it over there and you knew it was coming, okay, not so much fear. When it lands on you, that's a whole different
Or if it's
scenario.
poisonous. I mean, if
That
it's
too.
like, well, they're all poisonous. If it's a poison that can hurt you, then
Yeah.
that's a. I mean, I have an armistice with the orb weavers at the house because as long as they stay out of my reach, they live.
So y'all came to a peace
Anything
treaty.
above 4
Yes,
foot.
yes. And they're trainable. They're literally trainable. Like I will literally, if they come down in my range, I'll take their webs down, and then they'll move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll keep it higher. But as long as they keep it, out of my range,
What
out of
about
my way,
snakes?
depends on the snake. I mean, if it's copperhead, kill them all. Water moccasin, kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Anything that can kill you. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, water moccasins in particular because they're super aggressive, and I've
Yeah.
almost been bit like 40
Right.
freaking times by them. Like,
Dude, that's one thing about being raised
And
in
they're out
Florida
here,
or
right? In
anywhere
Florida.
where there's country for the most part with fresh water. You're gonna run into water moccasins, and they were just ornery, mean
They're mean.
motherfuckers.
they'll chase you.
They'll chase
Yeah,
you.
they'll chase you
I have been-
non-stop. Don't think you're gonna run 20 yards and stop.
Yeah.
No,
I have
they're
been
gonna
s-
keep chasing you.
They are nature's water version of the Wolverine. Because the Wolverine do the same thing. A Wolverine, you harm a Wolverine, or if it is aggravated and pissed at you, that's how the Marvel character of Wolverine kind of came to be for some of his powers. They can smell you from fucking miles away, and they will track you until they find you and not stop.
Except the water moccasin, you can exist, and they'll be pissed at you.
Yeah,
Yes.
You exist.
you exist. That
Yeah.
was enough for it.
Yeah,
It
that's
pissed it
crazy.
off.
Yeah. Instance, I saw this guy on a boat dock one time, and he goes, "Oh, look, it's a banded water snake." I'm like, "Dude, throw the damn snake." He's like, "No, it's just a banded water snake." I'm like, "No, dude, you're holding a water moccasin." He goes, "Oh yeah, and you know the difference." I said, "Yeah, the side of the head and one marking. You're holding a moccasin." And then he started going like this. I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's gonna get bit." He's like,
Throw it.
"Throw it, throw it hard, fast, run." You know.
All else fails, whip it.
So
Whip it.
I had a buddy I grew up with, and he would literally go outside, take snakes. He would grab the snake by the tail, pop it so it
Oh, yeah.
stuns the snake, and then throw it up in a tree.
Yeah.
It's apparently an old local to that area ritual to like for rain.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see all these double sets of holes on my arm?
Wait,
That's
hold
from
on.
snake hunting.
Why?
Because we used to go out and catch them when
Why?
we worked at the zoos to put on exhibit.
Why?
Got paid.
Fair.
Yeah. There's,
I also owned one of the last Suriname boa constrictors that was ever allowed to be imported, a red tail. And
You didn't let it go in the Everglades, did you?
no. I sold him to a responsible breeder because at that point he was more than I could feed at home. He had moved up to large rabbits and
And kids.
animals of substance, not just rats and rabbits anymore.
Small children.
We were about to graduate.
If they're gonna eat a
Got
fucking
pretty
rabbit, they will
damn
eat a
big.
child.
Yeah, it was starting. Let me put it this way: it was starting to make a bloody mess in my house because this wasn't an aquarium snake anymore. So yeah, it was decided that he was to a point where he needed to go live in a habitat and not my house.
gotcha.
So I was once he got past the bunnies, I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this no more.
Well, I think we're going to get ready to wrap this show up for our first show out of the box here.
Yes.
Want to say that thank you all for joining us, and make sure you tune in for more episodes that are be coming up soon about the paranormal. We'll be diving more into topics of interests and everything else. We'll also be, like I said, going to be interviewing celebrities and everything else across the board, in the paranormal, and even just other investigators out there who do what we do across the field and get their opinions on stuff. But Mrs. Chance Hancock saying bye, Jesse.
Bye.
All right, people, you guys have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.
Keep it real out there.